All right, welcome everyone. We're live. It's Zenith Online Racing. We have... Oh, we don't have any sound. There we go. All right. Zenith Online Racing, round 15, season 8, tier 1. And we are in America, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. A site very familiar to F1 fans. We were there only a few weeks back. I am R. Bega, joined once again by my good friend GP Colin. Welcome, sir.
Happy to be here, buddy. Always a wonderful thing to do on a Monday night.
Yes, happy to be here. Excited. And if you take a look at the left, we have our first full grid of the season. That's right, folks. 20 Tier 1 drivers out on track. A few reserves, no less, but they are allowed to qualify as they are full-time reserves. So we have 20 proper cars in a race here. I am looking forward to this. Very excited.
You and me both. This is going to be something else.
I'm just going to check the audio quickly.
So here comes Packer. Packer's getting ready to start his hot lap. First car out on the track, and here he goes.
Yeah, everything sounds good. All right.
I think Packer missed last week, so he must be a little anxious to get out here and remind them of who is the most dominant racer this season.
Yeah, looking through the order here, trying to figure out. I mean, he's been dominant when he's been here, but he has not been here a lot. So
right.
Just looking through the order, like honestly, like I don't know who on that list there actually has a shot at beating Packer on outright pace.
Yeah.
The reserves coming into the race tonight that you don't normally see week in, week out. I don't think any of them are particularly fast. Definitely.
You know, but you know, Packer may be kind of in a league of his own by himself right now, but after him, you got a lot of really close drivers in terms of pace, overall pace.
Right. I was thinking, oh no, did Say not get his seat because he's reserving? Or did someone take his seat, but he's actually in the car. He must have dropped out because he has returned. I didn't notice that. Yeah, that was real nip and tuck for me getting going here, but we're good to go. I literally just got it. I was literally drying myself off as the lobby was firing up, so we're rolling. We're in. My controller, neither of my PlayStation controllers are charged, so right now I've got one charging and I've got one working for the moment, so if I do drop out for a moment, I'll be running off to switch those out, and then hopefully it'll only happen once, if it even happens. The PlayStation 5 controller is really bad for battery life, I have to say.
So, yeah, unfortunately, Packer invalidated on the next to last turn.
Who's this? Scavney coming around the final corner? Yeah. From Scavney, we haven't seen much of him this season. 34.5, right to the top ahead of Zamagos, so that's a really good time for Scav. Jinnet's 42. I was thinking 142. Is that normal around here? No. No, it's not. It's definitely off the pace at the moment. RC ahead of Jinnet, tucks in behind Zamagos. Just going to mute for 1 second because I need to run a fan for a sec.
Lunar up there for 133.9. Lunar is somebody we've got to keep an eye on too, because he does have pretty good pace. He's up there, and geez, he's always up there in the top 5. And so is Adri. Not a very good time though for Adri. Let's see who's on a hot lap here. Puff Digital. Let's ride along with Puff Digital.
All right. Oh. I promised what I was doing had nothing to do with smoking marijuana at all. All very legit. I got the hiccups. I got the hiccups again. I honestly thought I did it. I thought I was smart this time and didn't go too hard, but apparently I did. Alright, let's find someone on a flyer. Brian's just wrapping up. We'll finish watching into his lap. 140 for Brian, not what he's looking for. Puff Digital just about to wrap up.
Yep, he's about
pit lane.
Into the third
oh,
sector.
No, sorry. I thought he was heading to the pit lane, but yeah, he's a little further back. Nice job. Keeping it between the lines, very important. There you go. On the power nice and early. That's a really good time from Puff there. Right up into third. Nicely done. He was a little clumsy on the throttle there at the end too, so I think there's definitely a little more time in that lap. T-Money pushing. Looks like he is.
I think he's trying to get... Yeah, he may be. He had invalidated the previous lap. I don't know if he's really pushing.
No, I wouldn't say so. It looks... Maybe. I mean, the lap is so long, I feel like if you don't use the prime of the tire adequately, like, you're better off just going to pits. I don't know.
Wow, he did not invalidate. That is incredible. Oh! And that's exactly what he did the last time.
It's weird because it looked like he was trying to give himself like a cheeky way of getting a really good exit to start his next run. And he ended up putting himself so wide that he spun the car because there was too much rotation.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, as much grief as we give this game at times, like the fact that you can do that, you know, like you turn wide and you shift the load of the car too much, it will just rotate.
And here goes Packer. He's going to try again. Invalidated his first attempt.
Yeah. All right, we'll ride with Packer again. But yeah, it's interesting. Interesting to see how stable like the lobby looks at the moment with 20 cars in here and everybody on the same system, right? Like, imagine if we had 20 cars on crossplay. I'd imagine it'd be like an utter disaster.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, doesn't seem to be any.
Ooh, big moment there. And it's not invalid. They must have noted that he lifted enough or something. But that's going to cost him. Do you remember when we were watching... I smashed my mic there, sorry. Do you remember when we were watching them play on the crossplay and it looked like they were almost just sort of gliding over the surface?
Yeah.
Where it's like when you watch them on the actual PlayStation, it does look like the car is working. Like, it looks like they're actually sticking to the track, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, you can see that grip.
Nice job of getting out of what that was.
T-Money's out, so... Did you do that in the pit lane?
I believe so. Yeah, Asylum, his teammate's out on the hot lap.
Oh,
so
my Packer. Literally millimeter from crossing that white line. Like, as much as he can get out of it. 33-2.
Jeez.
And he's the second driver into the 33s by some margin. Lunar has entered the 33s, but he is at the very top of it. Seye not far off. He's fairly close to the front. I mean, he's really found, like, the pace he was lacking previously, he's really found that through the season. You know, we saw him actually racing. It was weird. It was like he had better race pace at the beginning of the season than quali pace. And now it's kind of come around the other direction.
Yeah, and overall he's been quite consistent. I mean, he's consistently up towards the top in the front.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been stellar all season. Like, I would say driver of the season if you ask me, based on where he started out and how well he's done. Like, he's fighting for the championship, and he didn't even think he would be able to keep the car facing the right direction. So
we're being treated to a special presence tonight. Look who's in P4 right now.
Oh my! Insane
Mr.
Asylum. It's a way back throwback for all those long time I mean, GB, you've been here since season 1. Season 1 for GP. Let's go through who's been here since the start. I mean, obviously me and Puff started it. So Moglis, I would say, was in season 1. Sam definitely was season 1.
And then he hasn't been here. The boy from my boy from Washington D.C. area, Zyg.
Ah, yes,
Zyg's been here, but he's missed most of this season here.
I think Scabney maybe as well. Which is nice. I mean, Scabney came in right at the beginning with us, right? Started out really early on. And now he doesn't really have the time to race every week, so he's just there. He's just in the roster and shows up occasionally. Can you imagine it was the one week, the one Monday you were going to reserve, and there's 20 cars here?
Right.
The first time you were like, you know what, I can race this week. I'm going to show up. And then there's 20 cars. You're like, oh my God.
Here comes Beck. And not bad for Beck. Now just look how tightly, I mean, from P4 to P13, they're all in the 134s.
Yeah, it really, like, this has sort of been the story of the season. I feel like we say this every week now. Like, the quality times are quite, I mean, I guess they're not linear. I don't know if that's the right word, but they are, like, it's like the rungs of a ladder, right? Like, they're all evenly spaced. Like, it's everybody's about that far from each other, all the way up. And obviously, some of these guys are better in qualifying than in the race, and some of these guys are quicker at certain tracks than others. But they're generally, no matter what the case, no matter who the drivers are, there's always this big midfield chunk where everyone is, you know, a tiny fraction of wheel spin or a little lockup away from each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and here goes Bobby. I'm going to ride along with Bobby Tava here on his hot lap.
You know, I had no idea that we were that we had a full grid. Basically until I got to the lobby and saw 20 cars, or when I went to join and it said 20 players, I was like, are you kidding me? I think you're kidding me, right? Like, I had no idea. And there was a part of me today, work was, you know, busy and I was running along and I knew it would be a really tight rush. I was like, I'm not eating dinner, I don't have time, but I have time for a very quick shower. Then at least I feel semi-human. Sit down, broadcast the race, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna commit, and I'm going in, and I'll show up 2 minutes late, and we'll be fine. And here we are. You know, towards the end of qualifying, we're getting down to the final few minutes here. The final runs will be starting shortly. And we got 20 cars out here. We got a competitive field where everyone is very close to one another. I mean, it's so far this has been, you know, the treat of the season. So for me, there was something about it where I was like, no, I want to get home and do this race. There was a part of me that was like thinking maybe I would pass and just take the night off. Also, another factor was Gord there. Gord was unable to cover us. So I was kind of like, well, you know, it kind of forces me into it. And now, you know, and that's like, fuck, I just dropping that bomb like so casually. But yeah, it just feels like, no, this was a good decision. Like, I'm enjoying this already. I like that we got a lot of cars out there, and I'm really looking forward to the race. And I feel like this might end up being like one of those classics where it's like, wow, we had 20 cars out, you know, Fuzz is out there, Bobby's out there, like all the admins that are reserves this year are out there racing. Like, there's a lot of good stuff going on today. So hopefully the race is really exciting and it pays off. And it's you know, 15 races into the season, like, and we finally get a full grid. Like, you know, this is the reward we were waiting for, keeping it going, showing up every week.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because there are only so many races left in the season, or if everybody just likes driving Circuit of Americas. But yeah, it's great to have a full field for sure.
Absolutely, and I think, yeah, it might be Circuit of the Americas is partly it. A lot of American drivers, obviously, here, you want to be there for the home race. But also probably it's getting towards the end of the season. Maybe guys kind of settling into the winter mode. You know, a lot of us live in a place where winter is a miserable time. So, yeah, it's just, you know, you live like half of the year you're living in sort of crummy weather. Like, it's not great. So,
yeah, Northern Maine had 10 inches of snow yesterday, or the other day.
Man, there was these enormous chunks of snow and ice all over the highway today, and then like down the back roads when I was coming home. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? Like, where the hell did this guy like, you know, in the winter stuff falls off the cars all the time, and you know, there's salt, so it melts and whatever. But it, like, there's nothing melting it right now, right? It's just sitting there in the middle of the road, like like an enormous, like probably if you hit it at 60, you'd probably dent your bumper, like a big piece.
Ouch.
I was like, what the hell? Like, where did this come from? Very weird.
Yeah, it just kind of snuck up on us. We're supposed to get a little bit of snow, I think, Wednesday morning.
Yeah, we're
not looking forward to it.
We're expecting traces for the next little while. I don't know where my snow brush is. I better find that. And World Cup starts next week. We got some.
That's right.
Canada's in.
No kidding.
Canada made the World Cup. Yeah, they got the toughest group by far: Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco. Like, there's some groups out there where it's like Spain and then like 3 countries you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, geez, you know, why did Canada have to get Belgium and Croatia?
Yeah, it always amazes me. World Cup teams, you know, countries. It's like, who the hell are they? Oh, geez, they're actually like 5th in the world. Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, places that you hardly ever hear of, yet they are exceptional at soccer or football.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. So, looking forward to that.
Beck did a little pirouette as he enters the pits.
Heard that before.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but he does a lot of pirouettes.
Brian, I think Brian is on a push. Riding with him, slightly down on his previous run. Maybe he's not pushing. It might be. I think most guys went for 2 runs at the end here.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it anyway. But yeah, Packer. I was riding with him for his hot lap. He improved. You know, Lunar's not far off there. He's in the range.
I'm riding with him right now.
Brian with a 34.1. So Brian's rating that mix, fighting for. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a, you know, the top 3. Fuzz actually up there in that top 3. So surprisingly, Fuzz, the guy that is potentially going to come in here and pose a problem for Say, Lunar, and Packer. And then from there on, it looks like a pure dogfight for 5th. Look at those times. Like, that is going to be...
I know, it's incredible.
That is going to be gritty. And look at Puff. I don't know what it is, man. I think Puff's got the same luck I have, because he is 0.06 off P7, and he's going to be starting P11. He's also 0.2 off of 5th and starting 11th. Not even
Good
a tenth
stuff.
and a half. I mean, that's insanity. Like, it's good for us, absolutely, but like when you're on the bottom end of that, it is like, oh my, you know, in the season he's had, like, that's just feels like just another kick in the teeth, right? Like, it's like, oh, come on. Just like, you can't catch a break anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, really good qualifying.
Well, yeah, Lunar's giving Packer something to think about. Got to. I mean, 19 thousandths of a second behind. Or 19 hundredths, I should say.
So yeah, Packer on pole, Lunar starts 2nd, Fuzz 3rd, Say 4th, Asylum 5th, Joshua 6th, Samagla 7th, Brian is 8th, Jinnitz 9th, Adri starts 10th, Puff 11th, Scabney 12th, Sam 13th, Beck 14th. scroll down. And RC's 15th, Rec 16th, Bobby 17th, 18th for Vinny, Rockstar 19th, and 20th for Team Money. I don't think you ever really got a proper lap up. Anyways, hopefully everyone remembers not to ready, because we got a lot of guys here that don't normally race. Just gonna grab a drink here quick.
So I'm gonna go through the standings here. All right, P1, Drivers' Championship. Good old Zenith to win it. 173 Saye in P2 with 168, so 5 points separating those boys. Adrian third with 131, and Packer in fourth at 127, so only 4 points separating them. Brian Scott in fifth, tied with
GP.
Yes.
Don't look now, but it's a wet race.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh God.
I told you there was something special about this one. Just has that feeling.
Yeah.
Sorry. Carry on.
No, that's okay. Yeah, Brian Scott and Packer are tied 127, and Josh in sixth with 125, so only 2 points separating those boys. Damn Sam in seventh with 106, Asylum 93, Lunar Jedi 67, and rounding out the top 10 is Zamoglis with 62. Then you got Rockstar with 60, RC with 50, Beck with 39, T-Brum 36, Wreck Diver 30, Vinny Sips 28, Puff Digital 25, T-Money 16, X Machina 4, and T Razorback 1. Let's see, is the... Yeah, and the Constructors is pretty close as well. You got McLaren with 284, Alpine 258, AlphaTauri with 233, so that's pretty close. Williams 196 and for P4, Mercedes 129, Ferrari 109. P7 is Alfa Romeo with 90, Red Bull is 8th with 75, Haas 61, and Aston Martin 44. And now we go into the rain.
Yes, into the rain. Wet race, 20 cars out there. Looks like we're getting ready to get going. I'm just going to change my cat's water quick.
Well, I, for one, would not be overly thrilled with the rain.
No, not at a track like this. Like, the first sector is tricky in the rain, and I doubt anyone practiced in the wet, so... Might see a safety car lap one here. I'd actually be shocked if there isn't, to be honest, but...
Well, I'm pulling for no safety car in the first lap.
Well, I would prefer that.
Through.
I would also like to be done before 9:30, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I think there's a good chance. Yeah, I know the pace won't be quite as fast,
there
but...
we go. I was going to say, I can't see anything. It's like raindrops blurring out the picture here. I don't know, like, does it look like there's a chance of it drying? It really doesn't. Not at this point. I think it's probably just going to rain like this for the race. It looks like that situation. Also, do you think that... I wonder what the record... This is really, like, stoner thoughts here, but... There's a lot of umbrellas in the crowd, right? How many umbrellas do you think have been at any given place at any one time at the same time? Like, what's the world record? Because I bet you a Grand Prix would be an easy way to do it.
Yeah, you don't usually get umbrellas at, like football or baseball games. Baseball, they don't even play, so...
Yeah.
Great. Maybe a marathon. I mean, if the streets are lined with fans, 26 miles worth
Okay.
of...
At the same time, though, is umbrella in a grandstand is kind of a dick move, right? Like, that's a dick move. You can't do that in a grandstand. Yeah, I think you just gotta wear your coat and get wet. That's why that's why you bring a poncho. I don't know, man. That Saturday in Canada, the Canadian Grand Prix, it was cold and rainy all day. Like, we just sat there with, like, all of our warmest clothes, which we didn't have a lot of, because it's summer. It's supposed to be.
Thank God.
And rain jackets and ponchos, and just sat there, just drink, smoke, get rained on.
You can do that.
Cars.
You can do that. You could smoke in the stands.
Well, it was general admission, so you can kind of like, I would just kind of like walk away from the crowd, so I wasn't like smoking in everyone's face, right? But in Canada, it said technically you weren't allowed to smoke weed on the grounds, but like it was like nobody's gonna come and get you, you know?
Right. Yeah, just don't be flagrant. You know.
Nah, it's legal here. It's just like,
right.
You know, it's like smoking a cigarette. It's like, well, I don't know you're supposed to smoke there, but it's like, well, people do it. Anyways, we're going racing here. Talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. We got Packer on pole, Lunar in second. We're in Texas, Austin, for round 15 of Tier 1, Season 8, Zenith Online Racing. Let's get this thing going. I didn't look at the tires, but it looks like everybody is on inters.
Yes, everybody is on inters.
Drive-through penalty for Zimaglis on the jump start. Oof, that's a rough way to start a race. Really rough. He's got to just get that over with now, because it's a wet race. Anything can happen, right? It's going to be crazy. 3 wide into turn 1 here. We got a Mercedes Aston. That looks like Fuzz, Asylum, and was it Zimaglis maybe, or Joshua?
I think it was Josh.
Joshua was a McLaren.
Yeah.
So the snake back there, Say and Packer, really good starts. They've separated themselves from the field, which they would like to do early here in this crazy wet weather. Looks like Sam and Puff going wheel to wheel here. Actually it was Puff and Brian, I think, and Puff has got that move done, or at least held on.
So Zem wants this to go green until he can get in there and do his service penalty, and then...
Is it T-Money there? Yeah, he's really had a rough go of it. It feels like he has no confidence here. I don't think I've ever seen him spin so much. Like,
he's had a rough go of it this season.
Yeah. Puff and Brian going at it. I gotta check on that. Looks like Brian through. We got some more action here.
Silent and
Scabney and Adri having a look. Scabney down the inside there. Adri trying to hang on to it.
Whoa, nice little switchback. Silent. Oh, and Fuzz is not going away.
Fuzz does not go away easy, no. And, wow, did you see that slide from Fuzz?
I did.
Wow.
Nice save.
A really nice save. And Jinnet's ghosted, apparently? What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Zem is pit for his serve. Yeah, too, I think. This, it wasn't a bad idea for Zem to wait a bit, because it did give him some field spread, and he's got a couple cars out of the way already now.
T-Money's pit as well.
T-Money has left the session. So, why did he pit and then leave? Shouldn't he have retired?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. They did give him a new set of tires. His car is going back out. So
Jinnet's ghosted for some reason. But it looks like he's it looks like to me like I don't know what's going on here.
Somebody just...
Yeah, it looks like Brian. I think Brian Scott. Did he have contact with Puff, maybe?
I don't know. I caught the very end of it. I was kind of cycling through the drivers, so I couldn't tell.
But Jinnet's car is fast. Like, if that's not him driving, like, that's a quick car, man. Oh, yeah, it's not him. I guess it's overpowered in the rain, the AI, eh?
Yeah, we got to do something about that.
I think we really need to turn it down. I just don't see the point. Like, it's so rare that you drop, and when you do, like, you should expect some loss. But, like, I think 50 is fair, where the car's not, terribly slow, but, like, slow enough that everybody can get around it and, like, get out of the way. Because, like, Jinnet shouldn't be putting pressure on Fuzz when he's not in the car. Like, that's just bizarre. The Ghost nearly lost it there. Did you see that?
No, I'm riding on board right now with Asylum, who's given
Yeah.
Mr. Joshua something to think about.
Yeah. Well, we're on the front wing with Asylum right now, coming up the hill in the rain. What a great shot. And he's looking down into turn one. Nothing there, but yeah, we're gonna get some good racing here. Oh, look at this! The door opens. Oh, it's so close. The last second, I really wanted to stay on that wing camera there. That was nice.
So the cars seem to be doing pretty well going through the S's here.
Yeah. I wonder if qualifying was a bit odd because everyone had wet setups, maybe?
Yeah. I was just wondering the same thing, if these guys had actually changed their setups knowing that it was going to rain for the race.
Yeah.
Because the cars seem to be handling quite well.
I mean, as soon as you show up and you see it, you know, well, I'm cranking, like, if you hadn't prepared, you'd just crank a bunch of front wing on, at least get something, right?
Right.
Get at least front end grip.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think Asylum's going to have this.
Yeah, no DRS, though, so it's not as clear-cut as you'd think, but it looks like he's got the grip. Look at that, side by side.
Oh.
Oh, and it's not going to work for him. And now Fuzz back in the picture. See, he's keeping Packer honest at the front, too. Really good job from him.
Yeah, and it's amazing how they pulled out 4.5 seconds ahead of Lunar.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that gap. They got a nice gap early on, and I think it just kind of naturally grew from there, but they were sort of away from everyone right off the bat. And, like, that's huge, right? Especially if you're saying, oh, look at that, Fuzz has lost it. These guys, yeah, pretty nice job saving that. He only lost a few places, so he can get the car stabilized and get back at it. I mean, he's quick enough to get by these guys, so should be okay. Asylum, though, having a look again. Oh, look at that. Joshua's really struggling through that corner because every time Asylum gets a good look on him there. And into the S's, he wants to send it, but there's just nowhere to put it. Yeah. Asylum is flying, and he's handling these conditions really well. Like, if Asylum gets through, he's going to be right on to Lunar, I think. Eventually. I mean, he'll be right on to closing that gap.
Oh, Bobby had a little incident, but he's back on track.
You know what would be nice? This is file it under Codemasters, please listen for once. Would it be nice if you could shorten that grid, like the list on the side? If you could just like have it and then scroll instead.
Well, I can say that I do like that I can just look and see where the best battles are. I'd rather than having to scroll through. But
that's true, yeah. I mean, if the back end was like everybody's in big gaps or something, you don't really need it there. You can kind of like shorten it, because I like to take it off the screen. I like to do that, where then we get a better look at the cars, but then I lose track of what's going on through the field. So the grid up there, like, as much as it obscures the view a bit, I like it up there so that I can. I don't think I could adequately. Yeah, he's going for it. And I mean, Joshua's really big snap there. Gets the power down, though, and Joshua's really struggled into turn one, so if I'm Asylum, I know this. I'm heading down the inside, and I'm cutting that corner for him. Like, just get ahead. He's got to. Oh, my, and the switchback. Oh, my goodness, Mr. Joshua.
Slag boy is.
Oh. Just robbed Asylum. Snatched the candy right from his pocket. And he left him with his pants down, too.
Yeah, now Jennett's joined the little fray.
Yeah, that's a big problem for Asylum. And it was smart. Like, he did the right thing. He closed the inside corner off and was like, I'm just going to get the car in front of him and block it. And then he couldn't find any grip.
Man, his car really has a lot of problem.
Big
Jennett,
snap.
I think Jennett tapped him.
You think so? I don't know. I think
I was on board and I thought I heard.
But was it because of Asylum's moment, or was it that Jennett pushed him and he lost the traction?
I think I think the former. I think that or the latter. He tapped him.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I heard just a little tap.
Okay. I mean, nothing too, it's like one of those things. It's like like it's not even worth filing though. Like nothing's gonna come of that.
Oh no,
because everybody's okay.
It wasn't even. Yeah, it was really nothing. And probably just because it was just so hard to break.
First penalty, I'm actually pretty impressed with that. The Packers starting to pull up a little bit of a gap now on Say.
Now Puff is joined, and so is Rockstar and Sam. Yeah. Everybody's. Oh my word!
This is the quality pace kind of coming back into the race mix now. The raw pace.
So, yeah, just one little slip up, and you're going to drop a whole bunch of positions if you're at the front of this line.
So we got the front wing cam with Asylum again, and we got like a really nice view of the McLaren sparking into turn one. And I mean, like, I don't know, man, just everything, like, I'm just having a great experience with this game today, where it's not disappointing me. It looks really nice. Everybody's having a good race, it's really solid night for the league.
I have no doubt that if Asylum...
Commentator cursed it.
Oh,
there's the safety car.
Diver. There you go. That's what Zem wanted.
Yep. Zem needed that. So now what?
So, yeah,
fresh inters go to the end, right?
Well, I guess it's going to be follow the leader, really. I mean, if you're a Packer, you probably stay out. I mean, why?
What's with this gap that Joshua's got here to Lunar? That wasn't that big, was it? Was he just way under the delta?
Must be. I mean, it was more like 5 seconds. 6
Maybe he's trying to get his pit strategy set or something.
I wonder if everybody's leaders are boxing.
Yeah, they have to. They have the gap to Joshua,
but not Lunar.
Lunar should anyways.
Lunar's
no, not Lunar.
Out.
He's staying out. He wants the lead,
he's staying out.
Because technically you don't have to stop.
Josh is Asylum, Janet, Puff staying out, Sam's boxing, Adri stayed out, Scavney
Puff staying out. Puff stays out. I love it. Let's go, Puff. So Puff stays out and he comes out 4th out of that? That's not bad.
No, track position is kind of important here today.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of... it's awful hard to break away from somebody. Everybody's got to be so careful on throttle. Rain, the great equalizer, right?
Yeah.
However, they were all pretty darn equal after qualifying.
I got this is funny. I got the chat here. Asylum is Fusion's in the chat. It's got the Asylum and then a facepalm emoji, and then the next comment, get by. He's just sitting there watching Asylum struggle to get the move done, and he's just losing it over there. That's great. Sorry, what were you on about?
I was just saying that, the rain is supposed to be the great equalizer. However, these guys were all pretty darn equal to begin with after qualifying in the dry, so...
Right. Yeah, like, I agree with you, man. I think the guys that didn't pit aren't going to be severely hampered to any extent. Like, they're probably going to be able to race pretty okay, and there's only one car out right now. There's still 19. Like... we have a track record of DNFs in Tier 1, and 19 cars are still on the track. Like, I mean, if guys like that stayed, like Lunar especially, I think has done himself a huge favor. Puff, Adri, Scavney, like they, you know what though? They've kind of got their group covering them. Like Puff is behind the guys that pit, behind 2 guys that pit, and then everyone behind him is on the same tires. So,
yep.
This is actually really good for Puff. When he stayed out, I was like, yeah, I agree. I think he should stay out, but I didn't think that many people behind would.
6,
I
7.
mean, I wonder what the tire wear is. Like what level, you know, what do you think, like 12, 20%?
I would think 20.
20, 8 laps in? Yeah, I mean, that's about a third of the race, quarter of the race. Yeah, probably 20%. And I mean, if you can get a stint later on where you're able to manage them. It also, I don't know if it's just me, but it does look slightly brighter in the distance. Right? Doesn't it look brighter, like less foggy further down the view? I don't know.
Maybe it's just less speed, less spray. It just looks clearer.
Yeah, that could be it, yeah. There are a lot of clouds, but I do see, like, light behind them, right? Like, there's some gaps in the clouds, like a little bit of sunlight.
Yep.
So, you know, imagine if you didn't hit, and then it does dry up.
I would have to believe, though, that if there were a chance that it would be clearing up pretty quick, I don't think Packer would have boxed.
Well, he didn't really lose anything. He's going to get by Lunar. He may not.
You're right.
But, I mean, he lost one place, and he's got fresh tires. I think that's fine. Now, maybe like Joshua, Asylum, Sam, I don't know if that was a good call. Like, you're down in 9th, 10th, 11th now. And if it dries up and everybody else pits, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It does. I do think the rain's getting lighter. Like, it does look like there's some cloud separation now. So, I'm going to go out. We're going to make... This is going to be our biggest bold prediction. I say lap 22. Lap 22. Rain's done. Dry tires by the end. For sure. With like 5-6 laps to go. Alright?
That would be something. That would really, really make it even more interesting than it already is.
Well, you know, what's nice right now is Puff's leaving a pretty nice gap to Say and Packer. So it's really up to Lunar now when they get going. But, yeah, no, I definitely could see it happening. I've done a lot of these things, and I feel like the dynamic weather like, I do see these things coming sometimes with the way the lighting's shifting and whatnot. So, I don't know.
Oh, Lunar, not quite as good a release as he would like to.
No, he's put himself in a bad spot here. Packer's going to go right for it, and this Lunar has to fight this. He can't let him through. Oh my goodness, that's close. Lunar can't yield this.
He didn't want to.
No, did they touch though? I think Lunar's wing might have got clipped there, right?
Lunar, I think it was tire to tire. Front tire of Lunar and back tire of Packer. Touched just a little bit, and ooh, Packer a little squiggly.
Yeah, he's brought them back in. He's allowed them back in. Say, at this point for Say, he's got to get through as well. He has to.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is, you know, advantage to the guys on the fresher inters.
And he's going to have this.
Yeah, he should have this. Is it advantage to the guys on the fresher inters, or do you think... Yeah, it looks like Beck's had a moment.
Yeah, 5-second penalty to
Joshua. Yeah. Did he get caught up in that, I guess? Look at this. We got 4 cars, 2x2 here. And Joshua and Jinnit, and then Fuzz and Sam. Now, Jinnit's picked up a penalty. I was trying to keep an eye on Asylum there, because he was really putting pressure on, but I guess it was in that group with Beck and them where the incident occurred, so Asylum's kind of found himself ahead of the other guys, and now going to put some pressure on RC. Those fresh tires working nicely for Asylum. I mean, without DRS, that's kind of the advantage you need to get an overtake done, right?
Mm-hmm. He should. RC 8-lap old enters Asylum probably. He's really not reeling him in fast enough. He's looking, but he's not going to do it. Just too far back.
Yeah, we got Adri looking to put some pressure on Puff as well, so we'll keep an eye on both these battles best we can. And Asylum gets a look around the outside here.
And he makes it.
Yeah, he gets it done. We got a really bad camera angle there. We lost track of them, so just trying to get over there quick, but unfortunately we missed the final move. Checking on Adri and Puff.
So yeah, Asylum's everybody in front of him except for the first and second place. He's got the better tire. He should be able to carve his way through these guys fairly easily.
What a move from Zenith there. Right down the inside on RC. Just caught it. I just caught it right before they left for that straight. Asylum now putting some pressure on Scavney. So the fresher tires do seem to have an advantage. This is good for Puff, though. I mean, he doesn't really need to fight Adri too hard right here. I think Adri is quicker. He's got a nice cushion behind. Asylum's going to come through, surely, but the rest of those guys probably not going to catch him. So Puff would probably do well here to manage the tires, let Adri go, and just try to hang on to Adri, maybe get some tow. And because right now, I don't know if they're going to be quick enough to catch Lunar. Lunar was pretty fast, but Adri having a look. Beck's pit. So Beck probably coming off those inters. RC got a nice little train forming behind him too. He's kind of a cork in a bottle for a few guys. Adri really putting pressure on Puff now.
Something must have happened to Asylum. He was just over 2 seconds, 2.1. Oh, and
Adri was just so nice on the throttle there on the exit down this straight. Just feathering it, getting the perfect amount of grip, and he's got a nice look down the inside. I think he's going to get this move done. And like I said, for Puff, not a great idea to fight that too hard. There's a big cushion behind to the guys that you were racing earlier. He's got himself separated from that group by staying out. These guys on the newer tires are probably going to be quicker, and you just kind of don't worry about them. So really, he wants to stay with Adri and keep Zenith and all those other guys away. Actually, Zenith on newer tires, so not going to be able to do much about that eventually, but...
Right.
Scavney, RC, those guys there, you want to just make sure you stay ahead of that group.
Yeah, and Asylum has kind of reeled him in now. Puff
Yeah.
does.
It's just... Yeah, I think the tire difference is significant enough that it does help. You know, it seems to be helping to get these overtakes done. So, something to consider, I definitely think, for the guys that haven't pit. If it comes to a point where it's like, you know, these tires are kind of dog crap at this point. Like, let's just get off them.
Yeah, and if I were Puff's engineer, I'd be letting them know right now, really, there are only 2 guys behind you on fresher tires, and then after that you get 2 more guys that are going to have to pit eventually, most likely, like yourself. Yeah. So he can't really fall too far down, given the tire condition of the guys behind him. Having been in Puff's situation before, stayed out, you know, for track position, older tires, it's so disheartening every lap. The next guy up, you know, chasing you down, they're on the better tires, and kind of, I guess at this point he's probably hoping for another safety car so he can come in and get off of those tires, but again, I mean, P5 right now, if he could just hold on to this, like I said, 2 guys behind him, fresher tires, but then the 2 guys after that, same tire wear.
Yeah, Jennett's got some work to do. I mean, he's got to close up and get by, and he's got a penalty as well, and those tires will probably have seen better days by the time he gets all that figured out. So, it's Jennett might not be as much of like a sail past Puff and be gone. I think Asylum definitely, I think once he gets through, will probably pull away, but Puff's kind of hanging on to Adri right now, and Adri's on the same tire, so I think once Asylum gets through, he's going to have to, Puff will be able to kind of stick with this little group while Asylum works his way through, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is going to, at what point are 10-lap old inters, obviously they're going to be better than, 16-lap old inters, like, at that level, but really they're still old, worn inters, like, Yeah, I think there will come a point where it just comes down to the skill level, and some guys will be able to take it to the end, and others are going to have to pay.
Asylum using up his battery, I imagine Puff is as well, yeah.
Yeah, he has to be.
Asylum, no.
Wow, nice job. Puff really good on the brakes there. Keeps in front.
Yeah, and Jennett is
taking a look too.
Jennett is making some inroads here. He's catching the 2 in front of him.
Yeah, I figure the longer it takes Asylum to get through, more likely Jennett will get there quicker. And then, Asylum does get through. Like, he's not going to scamper away from Puff at this point. Like, Puff's going to be right there. So, Jennett becomes a bit of an issue for Asylum once he gets there, because Jennett, is very capable. And when Jennett smells blood, he gets fired up. So, you leave him an opportunity to get on the podium, he's gonna turn it up to the next level.
Yeah, and he's able to hold Asylum back quite well here. I mean, Asylum really didn't even couldn't even think of taking a look. He's going to want to start thinking about it, though, because Jennett is coming.
Right. Fuzz, looks like Joshua's made it ahead of Fuzz now. Sam going to get by. Get back up here to the battle for 5th. Asylum trying to get by Puff Digital. And Jennett almost made a little mistake there. He's lost a bit of time. He was closer. Another yellow. Looks like
ooh, Packer with a penalty.
Yeah, interesting. That's big for Seye. Very big for Seye.
Sure.
That's surprising. I was going to say, like, I mean, Jennett's got to find something here, because Seye's up in 2nd.
Puff got loose, and that opened the door. Asylum.
Oh, Asylum. Got loose. Yeah, Asylum. Trying to close the deal, ends up. Oh, no. This is such a tricky corner in the wet.
And look at Jennett. He's loving this.
Yeah, he's licking his chops. I can just see the look on his face right now. I don't. Exactly the type of thing he would say too, like.
Don't try to do an impersonation.
No, I'm not going to. Not going to, but I think everyone here that's raced with Jennett knows what he definitely would be saying something along the lines of like, go on and squabble. But no,
incredible.
Jennett, like, this is great for Jennett. Obviously, he's going to get a much better chance of getting by now with these 2 pulling him in. But Seye's up in 2nd, and he's out of reach for Jennett. There's no way Jennett's catching him. So Jennett needs to recoup as many points as he possibly can for the championship. Puff, for the moment, then we have those old inters starting to show their weakness now, and Jennett gets through as well. So I think Puff sort of realizing that these guys probably were going to get through at some point, and the tires obviously letting him down a little bit here.
Yeah, with all that, I mean, they dropped back quite a bit because Puff was only about a second behind Adri the beginning of that lap, roughly. Maybe it was 2 laps, but now Asylum is 3.5 seconds behind Adri.
Yeah, I'd like to see how quickly Asylum can catch Adri here. See what the tire life difference is like at this point. The guys on the 14 lap old Inter is surely going to be struggling now. Even Asylum very hesitant through here.
Ooh, Bobby. 10-second penalty.
10 seconds for exceeding track limits. That's a bit much.
Yeah, that's usually like a complete cut of a corner.
Yeah, like usually it would be like corner cutting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh, and Bobby retired.
Yeah, he's done.
In the pits.
Jinnet's real close to Asylum now, though. He doesn't have a time penalty to worry about, so Zenith kind of needs to make way here and get through. We got this really nice battle with Scavney, RC, Joshua, Sam, and Asylum. Let's watch this one for a little bit. Keep an eye on that Zenith gap.
The penalties are 3 seconds for everybody except Josh has a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, that was for a collision, right?
I believe so, yep.
I think those you can serve in the pits. If you go into the pits, they'll serve it for you.
I believe so, yep.
Yeah. I mean, if he did actually cause it, then... Like, if he was going to get penalized by the stewards anyway, then it's like, yeah, go serve that. But unlikely, because I feel like it would... Oh my goodness, Sam with a very ambitious look down the inside there, and Joshua was not having any of that.
Yeah, they're equal tire life, so even battle. Oh, Sam almost bit it. Lunar's boxing on some fresh enters, so that's probably a great indication is into the weather forecast.
Yeah, it's probably not going to dry up. I was going to say it's still raining pretty well. It almost looks like it may have got darker again. So, our biggest bold prediction, down the drain. Along with gallons and gallons of water.
So, geez, looking at these guys out there right now on 10-lap-old enters, you think they could take them the rest of the way? That'd be 21 laps.
Yeah, I think...
I mean, Adri right now is at 16. There are 3 drivers out there with 16, 4 drivers with 16-lap-old enters.
I mean, it really depends on if you've been managing them. Like, Adri, yeah, he's 13 seconds behind Say, but is he just absolutely babying the tires, or is he trying to go quick? Like, I don't know. And I don't know how much babying you can do to a point where you can actually conserve them. Like, I don't think you can just go to the end without pitting. Brian is out in the pits, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Rough night for Brian.
So, yeah, so for Asylum and Zenith, they have 10-lap-old enters. And
is that a safety car? Oh, we had a yellow in every sector for a second there.
So Adri can't go to the end. I mean, he's 16-lap-old enters right now. So, you know, Asylum's looking at a podium. Zenith could be battling for a podium.
Sam's had a moment. Sam's had a moment there. I don't know if there was a collision. Bit of a tricky place to be racing people, and I think maybe he had a collision, went off there.
And so in, what, 2 laps or so, Asylum has cut that 3-second deficit to Adri down to 1 second. And he's actually pulled away from Jinnit, unless Jinnit's had a moment. But really impressed with these guys. You know, there have been some spins, but really, overall, in general, everybody's pretty much kept their car on the track in less than ideal conditions.
Yeah, that's, I guess, yeah, we only had... Oh, wait, did everyone retire in the pits? No, Rick crashed, I think, right?
What's that?
Smoggles is putting softs on.
No way.
Yeah.
That had to be an error.
I don't think it'll let you do that accidentally. I don't honestly know what he's thinking. There's no dry line there. Like, there's, you can't even, like, you can't even pretend to see a dry line if you tried your hardest. Like, it's not there. Maybe, like, some corners in, like, the odd spot, like, oh, that's kind of dry. No, he's got nothing. He's become a hazard out there now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's dropping like a fly. Jesus, I mean,
he's on softs.
It's like 10 seconds now.
He's
in
water
4
skiing.
turns. He's lost 5 seconds in 4 turns.
Water skiing with 900 horsepower is like it's not a good idea. That's worse than George Russell's decision to put the softs on in Canada, I think. So, I mean, George looks smarter now, but yeah, just that was never going to work for Zimaglis. I mean, it's possible it was a mistake. Like, maybe he was cycling through his tires or something. But
yeah, but I agree with you. I think it's pretty hard to make that mistake. The game is not going to put you on the softs or really make it, So I don't know what happened. Now Asylum.
I'm assuming he's going to go in the pits because
yeah,
he's lost more than a pit stop this lap.
And he is.
Imagine retiring probably as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, a safety car brings him back, but he's in danger of being lapped right now. I mean, he's been lapped. Yeah, he's been lapped. Once you're lapped in this game, I think you just... there's not much of a point. I personally wouldn't bother, but... a night to forget for Zem.
So, yeah, now we've got the battle for P3 here. They are close.
So, he has retired, but, like, after the pit stop was done?
Huh.
Like, he kind of, like, hit retire as he was leaving, it seems.
Ooh, Janet almost binned it. Cost him some time for sure. Yeah, I think Zem's car now is gonna disappear.
Okay, good. No safety car. I was worried that maybe he hit retire too late and it would be looked as like an incident.
Mm-hmm. So Asylum finds himself. Go ahead.
Sorry, we haven't talked about them much, but say he's putting pressure on Packer at the front, and he's got that time penalty.
It was 2 seconds just a lap or two ago. So I don't know if Packer had a moment. But I was going to say, Asylum finds himself in a very familiar position, right behind somebody, and he's got better pace. It's just so hard to pass.
I mean, is Puff trying to go to the end here? Because he's got RC behind him now. I don't think there's much of a point in pitting if RC's behind. Because he's in the same boat. Adri, though, like, I mean, look at the time difference here. Like, Puff has lost 9 seconds to Jinnit. Like, it wasn't that long ago that he was racing him. The tires are toast.
Mm-hmm.
They're toast, but can they go to the end?
You get into that point where it's like, oh, you might as well stay out.
Yeah, unless it's going to dry in the next few laps. But I just don't see that. It hasn't stopped raining. Usually, you know what I've noticed, though? When it does stop raining in this game, it dries pretty fast.
Wow, and now Adri is really making it difficult. He's pulling way over to the side.
Yep.
He's had enough of this, having this mirror full of Ferrari.
Cooling the tires down, braking the toe. Just not going to make it easy. I mean, why should he? I mean, Adri really does have to cool the tires because they are old. He needs to make sure that they're not deteriorating in any way.
Say, man, if he can stay mistake-free, penalty-free, and
yeah,
he has a very good chance to win this race.
I will say too, like, it will be he'll beat Packer on merit. I think for the first time anyone's done that this season. Like, Packer has, I think, won every race he's shown up to. No one's been even in his league, really. And, like, Say's got a chance to take the win. Quite the queue forming behind RC now, too. Lunar's actually closing the gap on Jinnit now. Oh, he pit, that's why, yeah. Oh, Lunar's made a mistake, I think. He has. His Puff's gone through. So Lunar back behind Puff after pitting for his second set of new tires, I think. What are we on stops here? No, just one stop for Lunar. A lot of guys no stops.
Adri is on 21 lap old enters. He's holding these guys back. Not holding them back. He's holding them off.
Yeah, like, he's not in imminent danger of being overtaken. Like, Adri is doing a hell of a job. Like, that might be, so far, you know, if he pulls this off, if he pulls off a podium with no pitting, no stops, that's gonna be drive of the season. Like, you know, it's like, well, he's not that far to go, and he's done an incredible job so far.
He has stopped, right? I mean, we're on lap 23. His tires are 21 laps old. Does he?
No, he hasn't stopped.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Check the stops. He hasn't hit.
Yeah, I was going by the lap count, but Packer was just so far ahead.
Not unusual, but say he's there. That time penalty, though, we're getting into that range again here.
And was that Fuzz? Nope. Must have been Beck. Beck, another 3-second penalty.
So Lunar on 6-lap old enters. Obviously he had an error. If he gets by Puff, he's 10 seconds behind Jinnit. I mean, if you're Jinnit, you're not pitting, right? You can't pit. No.
I wouldn't.
No. What about...
I mean, and again...
What about... no, say you can't. Say you can't. I mean, none of the guys at the front can. There's really nobody... It's not worth it for anyone to pit.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody might as well stay out. I mean, we don't get fastest laps in the rain.
Yeah, I think we do. They just don't get quicker, generally, because the track's not getting drier, right?
There's fastest lap is
and everyone's
Lunar
on,
Jedi.
Yeah, I was going to say, everyone's on old
We have a safety car.
Too. Oh my goodness, a safety car. Okay, so if you're saying Packer, you're pitting, 100%, right? If you're saying you're pitting. You have to pit if you're saying. You pray that Packer stays out like a fool, and he's not going to do that.
Drive through for freaking RC. Okay. Damn.
Asylum's into the pit. Jinnet's into the pit. So these guys are into the pits. Puff has to pit. I think he can't stay out, right?
So Adri stayed out.
Oh my god, he's staying out. Puff stayed out. He might get in front of these guys. He does. Unbelievable. Adri stayed out as well. Oh my goodness. If Adri knew that everyone behind him was going to pit to Puff, he probably would have pit, right?
I think so, yeah.
He wouldn't have lost anything.
Man, if they can get... Yeah, he's in trouble. You know, he's in trouble if... depending on how many laps we have before we go green again, but everybody's going to have so much better tire than him, and I can't see him holding these guys back.
Sorry, who, Puff and Adri?
Yeah.
Well, even...
Yeah,
I mean, Lunar's there with the 7-lap tires. I mean, he might be a problem.
Correct, yeah. I mean, he should make quick work of them.
He could clog the guys up at the back, though, that are on the fresh tires, right? So... There's not that many of them, either. It's only Asylum and Jinnit. And their pace wasn't, like, blistering. It wasn't like they were front-running pace, right? So...
Oh, Packer's pitting.
Okay,
and so is AA.
Pit. So does Adri pit now? I don't know if he comes back out in front of Puff.
He probably...
There's no way he's getting in front of Packer and say, right? Unless he puts new tires on. And he's far enough ahead of Puff. He's going for it. He has to. I was going to say, he's far enough ahead of Puff that I think he gets through. He's going to come out in front of Puff.
So yeah, what do you do if you're Puff?
I think you pit, because he's got that 20 seconds to fuzz.
He's staying out.
He's just going to drop like a rock, I think. He can get in front of Adri, though. It's catch safety car, right? He does get in front of Adri.
So I mean, this is great.
You never know, man. Another safety car. I guess not at this point.
I think that, barring any incident here, say he just won this race because of this safety car.
That's true. That's very true. Puff might even get P2 if he can hang on. Here's the thing. We're not running behind, like, the rest of the field hasn't caught the safety car. It's not coming in this lap.
Correct.
So we're going to lap 27 here. Puff only has to go 2 more laps.
This is going to be fun. For me.
It's fun, yeah, fun for us. Not so much of your Puff Digital trying to hang on to a podium, or Adri trying to get back to that podium, or Asylum or Jinnit trying to get back to the podium, or Packer trying to build a 3-second gap in 2 laps, or Say trying not to get a penalty and take himself out of the lead. It's going to be tough.
Do you think that the cars don't all need to catch up to the safety car? We've seen that before. Does the safety car come in at the beginning of lap 27 to give a two-lap finish?
I think the field will be caught up by the time they get through Sector 2. Right? Most of the field.
Right, so I'm guessing that they're going green after this lap.
Yeah, like I think
you
2
feel
laps.
the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought,
So,
like last lap I was thinking that would be the case, but there's still a big gap there.
So, you know, the likelihood of Puff being able to hold on to the podium is...
Whoa.
Oh! What was that? A little lag?
Says you have a lagging.
So, I mean, if I'm Puff, you know, obviously you got to make your car as wide as possible, and that's a little easier here on a track like this, the conditions. But I wouldn't want to do something a little too crazy and cost myself, you know, a top 5 or top 6 for that matter. So, I mean, he's going to want to fight and keep that car nice and wide, but I would think that he's got to be sensible about it. You don't want to cost yourself, you know, all these points if you try too hard and spin.
Right.
It'd be cool if we can interview them while they're in the car, wouldn't it? Puff, this is GP.
Yeah.
How's it going, bud?
Shut up! Shut up! I'm trying to drive. Get out of here! That would definitely be it. Just fuck off! I'm trying to race.
Safety car is in this lap.
Okay. We're good to go green. A few stragglers going to be trying to catch up here, but I would imagine Packer slowing down the queue should allow that to happen. Alright, so if you're Puff, what are you doing? You're not wiggling at all. You're keeping those tires.
Nope.
You don't do any weaving. You need every, like every little tiny fabric of grip you can possibly get here. Like, do not take any life out of them, you know? Like, oh man, Puff's, it's going to be 2 wild laps for him. I mean, even just going racing speeds on old tires is one thing. Alright.
Oh, and Lunar hit the back end of Puff like he needed that.
Oh, Vinny's crashed out? Are you kidding me? Under the safety car restart? Did he crash out? Puff already getting pipped by Lunar here. Trying to hang on down the inside, and he just skates right through. What a move from Puff. How did he do that?
Oh my, what's going on here?
Are we getting some glitching?
Adri got around the outside.
Yeah, nice job from Adri there. Gets his podium back. And Puff, Lunar's been kind of helpful for Puff. He's kind of holding the other guys back.
I wonder if Lunar got some front wing damage when he got into the back of Puff.
It's possible, absolutely. See, I think gonna hang on here. Gonna be using all of his battery with that tow right now. Beck has crashed out. Yes, he has. Way at the back of the field.
Lunar lost it too. He's dropped down to 8th.
And that's not what Puff needs. Asylum gonna be on a tear now, trying to get to P4. So Say gonna try and hang on. Let's get to the Asylum Jinnit Puff battle here. Looks like Adri's long gone. I don't think Puff has a chance there. Puff just trying to hang on to P4. Where did I say he would have come out? Ahead of Fuzz? So he might have kept 2 places by staying out. I mean, there could have been another safety car and he might have been able to just drive it to the end, right? You never know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he had nothing to lose, really. You know, there was just so few laps left that you can only fall so far down.
Yeah,
you can keep it on track.
I think that was... Yeah, I'm okay with the decision to stay out. I think it's just... I mean, if you keep the 2 places, then yeah, brilliant. And there's a good chance. I mean, Asylum's close. He needs a... Oh, Josh was crashed out. Yeah, looks like he lost it on the straight.
Must have got on the throttle just a little too hard.
Yeah.
A little too ambitious.
There's just no way Asylum's not going to get a better exit down that straight, right? Like, he's all over Puff right now.
Puff's just got to be really smart.
Yeah, what he doesn't need to do is lose the car because Jinnet's behind with a penalty and he's not going to get by. Even if he does get by, he doesn't keep it, right? So
use your battery. Use your battery, Puff. There you go.
Oh man, if Puff can hold on to this, there's no way Asylum's getting through. And I think Puff's got it. Oh, Asylum.
Hey.
Oh, how did he not try to outbrake him there? I mean, if you're Asylum, you got to send it, man. The guy's on 27-lap old tires, right?
Oh, God. I was really surprised that
pray and break.
All right, boys, keep it clean.
Woo-hoo. Oh, my, man. This is great. Thanks to Puff for staying out there on those old tires.
Come on, Puff. Bring her home, buddy.
He's got it. I think he's got it. One more corner. It's not getting passed into this corner. Jinnet's going for it, though.
He fucking did it.
Barely. Asylum nearly got him by a tenth.
Wow.
By a tenth. Unbelievable. I think we got to interview Puff today because Adri won't come to the interview.
Well, there you go.
Well, there we go.
Man, Asylum's race was the same the entire time. He had somebody less than half a second in front of him.
Yeah. Save gets the win. Unreal. I kind of glossed over that because I was trying to see if Puff was going to get passed or not. But yeah, Save pulls off the W. Sticks with Packer for the entire race. Packer picks up a penalty. Although we should denote this, that it is possible that Packer may get a removal for his warning, and he might not finish B2 and may actually win. So we don't know if he has anything to challenge or to steward. So we'll have to look into that. But we'll interview Say as if he won, and Packer picked up fastest lap, and then we'll bring in Puff for the interview as well. So that's your finishing order. Say wins it. Packer second, Adri third, Puff fourth, Asylum fifth, Fuzz takes sixth, Jinnet seventh, eighth for Lunar, ninth for T-Money, Rockstar 10th, Scavney 11th, RC is 12th, 13th for Joshua, Vinny P14, 15th for Beck, Sam, a lot of DNFs actually, everybody here DNF'd. Joshua I think will get, he would get points if they were awarded. He technically finished, he's just plus one lap, but he didn't actually finish, so everybody else there DNFs. And yeah, I'll get these guys in for an interview, and then I don't have to mute myself while you take care of the interview, so I can get some food fired up here because I am hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it brief because it is already 9:30, so I will.
That was quick. All right, let me get the Packer Puff.
Yeah, Puff one stop. Huh. Incredible.
Puff no stopped.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I was just going to look into that a little more.
It was a no-stopper. How dare you accuse him of stopping? Oh yeah, he left the lobby probably. He might come in for the interview. If he doesn't, whatever, just do the two guys.
Yeah.
Alright, I will, I'll leave you to it.
Okay, let me just make an adjustment here to the... What's going on here? Too much background noise. There we go. Alright. Alright. Just you and I still. Puff, you in here? Doesn't look like anybody wants to be interviewed. Probably just want to go and get a towel and dry off. Wonder how wet those guys do get in the car, the cockpit. In real life. So we got one guy in here now, say, the presumed winner. Winner on track. Don't know if Packer's penalty would be something that could be removed or not. And there is Packer. Waiting for one more. Hopefully we can get Puff in here. Well, all right. Well, might as well just I'll start with the with Packer here, and maybe Puff will join us, maybe not. Packer, congratulations. You had the lead the entire race, pretty much. You had that 3-second penalty that kind of came back to haunt you at the end there. But how'd your race go for you?
Well, I was slipping and sliding all over the track. Never found a good groove, I guess. But yeah, I thought I was running at a decent pace with the wings that I had. Didn't change them from qualifying. I thought it would just be fine to lower the front wing. I think I went from my front wing being, or my wings being 41-35, and then at the beginning of the race I changed it 35-35 just to get the understeer, and it didn't work, so I went 33-35 at the first safety car, and then for the last 2 laps I went, I think 30-35, and still nothing was really working. But yeah, congratulations to say, yeah, you drove great.
Yeah. So you must have been like looking in your rearview mirror and, you know, cursing at him a little bit, like, leave me alone, dude, because he was right there within a second or two pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, he was driving great. I made a few mistakes in the second stint. A few laps before the safety car, I almost spun out of turn 2 and had to cut across the S's. But besides that, just some tiny traction mistakes. But like, just looking at it, he was on 50-50 wings, I saw in the chat. So there wasn't much I was going to be able to do, I guess, especially not having the stability that I would have wanted.
Yeah, it was quite impressive. I mean, towards the end we lost a lot of cars, but really, I mean, you guys did a fantastic job given the conditions. Everybody was pretty much staying on track. Few spins, I guess, and very few incidents. I didn't really see anything where there was significant contact causing a spin. But so yeah, hats off to everybody. First and foremost in Tier 1. Great job. So, Packer, do you think that your penalty is something that you're going to try to get removed, or is it a legitimate, 3 warnings and 3-second penalty?
Well, it won't matter either way. I picked up a 4th one right at the end of the second stint before the final safety car, so it wouldn't have mattered either way, and they were all legit warnings. I don't know what I was doing, but yeah. So, okay. No point to get it removed, or try to anyways.
All right, well, congratulations. I imagine there was a lot of white-knuckle driving there for you.
I'm a little sweaty. Let's just say that.
All right, well, good job. Let's move on to the race winner, Mr. Say Forever. Say-Ins Forever. How are you, buddy?
Very, very tired.
Yeah, that, I can imagine. I mean, that I know, and we all know, if we race in the rain, it's pretty stressful. It's tense. Arms, for me, would always be tense. So how'd you feel going throughout the 28 laps?
It was definitely a handful to do, because obviously the rain is very tricky to drive on, and nobody wanted it, thanks to Mogless. Or Jinx. The Jinx, but yeah, we had to. I ran the 50-50. It was the only really opportunity, because I searched up some YouTube videos and qualifying. I was just there in my garage, just looking at what's some ideal strategy or setups, I decided to go for the 50-50 just for the hell of it. And
So, I was going to ask you, did you, knowing that it was going to be a wet race, you made the adjustments for qualifying, I assume?
yeah, I made the adjustments for in qualifying, in my pit box, and then I went out on that rain setup, the dry, and put it on P4, and just, it was good enough for the rain.
Any scary moments for you out there? I mean, we weren't able to stay with you the entire time. There were some really good battles going on behind you guys. But yeah, so your car stuck to the track pretty good.
I only got one warning, and the S's I went a little bit. I turned in a bit too quickly, but other than that, it's just small slips and just trying to stay with Packer.
Well, you did. Great job. Yeah. That's gotta make you feel good in and of itself, right there. Just being able to stay with this guy, because we all know how fast he is. And yeah, so great job staying with him. And you know, fortunately, you didn't get a penalty. Unfortunately for Packer, he did get a penalty, and so that moved you onto the top step of the podium. Congratulations. I assumed Packer's sweaty, so you guys probably want to go take a shower, dry off. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here. We didn't get Puff in here. Adri didn't show up. So again, congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to everybody in Tier 1. You guys, that was great stuff. A lot of very good battles. And to me, from what I saw, and I think Bigger would probably agree, there was a lot of very clean driving too. So congratulations. So we're going to sign off here. Let's see, we got Tier 2 on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Tier 3 on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So tune in for those races, ZOR Racing. So let's see, I'm going to sign off here for Bigger, our host tonight, who needs to go grab something to eat real quick because he just got in here just after work, didn't get to do much. So I applaud him for making it and giving us this wonderful stream. Always a good time hanging out with Bigger on Monday nights. All right, so again, tune in Wednesday at 8 o'clock for Tier 2, Thursday, Tier 3, 8 o'clock. And until then, I bid you adieu. See you guys. Have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.